Sorry guys, I'm going to be eating and stuff here. Get some food in before the final table. Actually got quite short now in the super knockout. We actually don't have anyone other than the big blind covered, is that right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna check jam here. I mean, it's not great, but well, actually, I have a full house eights. Yeah, I think I will. Excuse me. He's probably gonna have like sixes, nines, ace 10, 10 jack suited some of the time, but I think 15 outs. We've got like 30% equity, ish, and sometimes the best hand if he's floated with like jack queen. Maybe he floats sometimes like king jacks and stuff, or ace highs. So I think if you think about the time he's folding and then the equity we have when he actually does call, it's close. But prefer to be aggressive with it. Wow, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think he has eights here a lot. Maybe ace jack suited. I think it's got sevens or eights a lot here. Yeah, ace jack was the other one I said. So that's a good one to hold. And a good player to knock out too, because yeah, he's strong. He's strong, so we don't really want him on the final table. So here we are, second in chips. A couple of short stacks out there. 10 cap top. Got work to do, but yeah, in there with a shot. Decent depth of stack, M22-ish. Do have the other big stack on our left, but and he's good, but he's a little bit on the tight side. We have JDT Poker on the left as well, which is a little bit annoying because he's more aggressive. Definitely prefer him on the right. We have Bear Span on the right, which is good. And a couple of guys there I don't even know, so that's interesting. Rising first in 2 of 39, 5%. Okay. I thought he was tied early, but I think I'm going to fold anyway. He's not as tight early as I thought. And I actually have lots of... The HUD hadn't updated. I actually have lots of hands on him. I didn't realize I had so many. 1,000. So top right, I think a pretty easy call because of the bonus. And our range is probably slightly ahead of his. You know, he can have like jack queens and ace fives and stuff. And king fours. $160? $160. So it's fun this tournament. So he might lose a short stack here early. You know, it's probably good actually. You know, sometimes I don't mind the stacks all being kind of even. And like now, you know, because we can bully them a little bit more, you know. But in this instance, I probably just don't mind everyone busting as soon as possible, just because I'm getting tired. And so, you know, I just want to get over and done with as fast as possible, really. So it looks like from the guys that I don't have coloured, Jurgen's a slight winning player. Mostly grinds lower stakes. Yeah, and GX looks like a losing player. And this guy, I'm not sure. Yatako. Sounds Brazilian. Yatako. Sounds he's Brazilian. Sounds Japanese. Yatako. I think it's a pretty good open here. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. This guy's pretty vulnerable with his stack. It doesn't look like he gets too out of line. But I should have said that he was a crazy maniac. I've gone and said that he's kind of tight, so of course he's jabbed. And I should have known. I should have said he was super loose, and then he would have snap folded. Oh yes, it's late as night. Oh, sorry, nice one. Lack of sleep. It looks like he's got a king jack or king 10 here, maybe like ace 5. But I think for this price, and given the fact that he's probably just some random donk, probably can't quite fold. Just in case he's got like a 7 or something stupid, or thinks he's bluffing. Kind of hard with no notes, no info. But I don't think the call can ever be that bad, given the odds we were getting. He only has to be bluffing once in a blue moon. And I do think that sometimes a donk there will just roll like 9 high. Or just be like value owning himself. Yeah. So I mean, you can kind of expect, I guess, some pretty tight action. Nicholas DLP looks like he opens a little bit wider than I thought. It's annoying. I thought that was what I saw. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of players behind, and a lot of them, these guys, if they jam, he's almost committed. I do think this full 3x is just a legitimate hand here. Just trying to take the pot down. Doesn't want to really mess with the other big stack, which is kind of annoying. Or maybe he has ace 2 and he's just folding if anyone jams behind. He does have a pretty high 3-bet percentage. I don't know why I thought he was tight. Maybe the old HUD. So in the wrong spot, but I did just think he was tight for some reason, but he's pretty loose. Wow, he's really loose from the small blind. Exploitably so, I would say. I'd just be 3-betting him any 2 from the small blind, from the big blind if he's small blind. Unless he's responding with 4 bets enough. Virtually lost one. All in this hand. We're just going to get this one up here, I guess. Well, yeah. Well. Yeah, 8-10. So we see he's opening pretty loose there. He's 4. And I don't know if he would have bet flop, but he might have. He might have actually bet flop if we checked. Just to clean up his equity. It's pretty close, but I think this guy's on the tighter side in his UTG, so I'm going to sort of make a borderline speculation here. This should be less chance it gets 3-bet behind. As I said that, it happened. So I should have said there was a lot of chance, and then I would have snap folded. But yeah, I mean, against a UTG open and a mid-flat, like this kind of looks strong all around. So I don't expect players getting out of line there, and this guy's been kind of pretty tight. It was always going to be borderline just because the implied odds were not that great and there was players behind, so we didn't even get to see a flop, which is the worst case scenario. But at the same time, because he is tight and he's UTG, and I think generally these players behind are more likely to be kind of just recreational, splashy players. I think there's a lot of chance that once they see a raise and call, they're more inclined to come along and call as well. And then we get a nice situation where we're multi-way with a hand that can flop big and win a big pot, and the SPR is such that it's pretty easy to caress it and get stacks all in. I think GX has to call almost any 2 here. I mean, it really does kind of look like JD's just kind of calling because he's figuring to get a really good price and not trapping, and he does just snap fold. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of close. I don't really love the jam in that particular instance. Wow, this is pretty annoying. This guy looks like it's kind of tight. 13% from early, 54 for 13%. Jam from bears. I think 9s is pretty easy fold. I wonder what we do with 10s. I think 10s. I'll probably fold 10s too, but just take jacks and ace king. Ace queen suited. Yeah, I'll probably just take jacks and ace 10 here. I think ace king. I think bears can have 8s, but I don't think. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of annoying because not just because we would hit a 9, spike the 9, but just because Bears fan's good and he's got chips. I think he maybe can have 8s there, but definitely not much worse than that. I don't think he has 7s there because he's against this kind of a tight player UTG. And got a lot of players behind still, and a stack size where, yeah, I mean, he can't wait much longer, but I just feel like, he was actually in kind of 5th position with the stack size he had anyway. I think with the bubble factor and the marginal spot, I think like 7s down he's going to fold, and 8s would be pretty close. And ace queen and ace king I think is going to jam. So nines are not really doing very well against that range. And we still have the initial tight player who's open UTG to worry about too. I mean, he could wake up with a big pair as well, so it was kind of close. And almost worked out our way, but not quite. Pretty good raise here from this guy. I think this guy plays very well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tough spot for us. We've got good players to our left, and we have the highest bubble factor since we're second in chips. We have the highest bubble factor because busting next for us is very costly. Obviously, because we've got quite a few chips. And we are down to 8. And if you're not sure about ICM, you know, what I'm saying is since we're second in chips, if we happen to collide with the big stack and bust, well, long term from this spot, if the players were all even skill, then most of the time we're going to finish in second spot because we're second in chips. So busting in ninth or 8th as it would be now is really bad because these other short stacks are going to bust before us most of the time, and so we'll be missing out on money that we should really be cashing in on most of the time by busting too early. And you really got to balance it between timed aggression and when it's time to refrain from doing anything too reckless. And we're really kind of in that zone where we're just sort of tiptoeing through the tulips, hoping to get a few bust outs and just move up. And I wish I could say I had a better plan, but I really don't think I do, because we've got the big stack to our left who can really assert pressure and is capable of asserting pressure. And if we raise and he 3-bets like he did before, it just puts us in a really horrid spot where we're going to have to play. We can only play back with a very tight range. That's the problem with having him there. And the ideal spot, if he's not there, and there's a couple of them. Well, the ideal spot is if we had like a whole bunch of them sort of 7s and behind us and that sort of thing. And they're all kind of vying for like moving up on the ladder and getting more payout, a bigger payout. And at the same time, it's risky for them to 3-bet jam because they don't want to be the next to bust. And generally in that instance, you can expect pretty tight play. No one wanting to be the next to bust, and you can really pressure those stacks. It's really hard for us to do that from here because we've got the 2 bigger stacks to our left who are good players, and they can just put a lot of pressure on us. Probably going to call here from one of these guys in the blinds. I think JDT would need a really bad hand to fold there. He's probably got like 10-4 off or something. Getting that price he was getting, he's probably going to call a little bit wide, but there is a little bit of ICM, of course. But yeah. I mean, these guys are all well, 4 guys really. Won't be 4 for much. Is that ace 5, ace 5, ace 9? And he got him. Which is good. I think GX is one of the weaker links here. So let's give him more chips. He's still only M7. It's actually that really good pot, that one we won earlier against Maluksak with the 9s against ace jack. It's actually really set us up for this final table. And just allowed us to be in this position where we can sort of just control. Wow, that is a freaking loose call. That was a crazy loose call with ace jack. That's obscene. I don't know what to do there, so I'm gonna fold. That was obscene, that call. That was gross. Was it just... Wow, it's such a bad call with ace jack, given the ICM. Just shoves and he just snaps it. Now he's in there with the ace 8. He's here to dance, that's for sure. 8 ball. Yeah, don't give JDT any chips. Yeah, this is spicing up a bit, isn't it? Yeah, that's such a bad call. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Wow, he's just shoved like M14. And he's just called it off with the ace jack suited. It's pretty bad given the ICM. I think that's probably a easy fold. I mean, he's not really doing it with ace 9, and ace 10 is off, is probably not doing it. Probably doing it with like 7s up and or 8s up and ace jack up. So time to get it in, top right. It is pretty close to the bubble, so hopefully nothing too shilly happens. And silly includes if this guy calls here with a hand like ace 10 for the knockout bonus. It actually looks like he's 3-bet to get it in and somehow now come up with a fold. Because he's not really that deep. Yeah, almost defended it. 4-7 off. 4-7 off against a min raise. Give it back to me. Probably would have just check called, I guess. Well, double barrel gets that one done. Looks like he might have just been recklessly barreling there. It's hard to say. This is really hard spot for Bears fan there. We haven't done anything too crazy, and well, I think if Aquarius happens to jam here, probably gonna have to, yeah, I think we're gonna have to ISO here. Go for it. It's actually a kind of annoying hand to see, Jack Queen, because it's like, you know, kind of the worst of the cards that are just 3, 4, 5. It's the worst of the overs that he might. Well, I mean, I guess you can have 10 Jack, but I mean, when we've got 9s, you know, it's just not pretty, not pretty. Wow. So sick. I think it's like King Jack with the King of Spades. But he might just be scared shitless and protecting with like Ace Jack, and I think I'm just going to fold. It's a bit gross. I don't really know much about that player. Yeah, it's such a sick overbet, you know. I mean, we just could be in really bad shape. Could have like ace 8 with a spade or whatever it was. That's like, yeah, I mean, you could just have hands that just really mess with us badly. If I make it 10 and they make it 25, that's 15. Yeah, it's pretty close. I think I will actually open here. And Nicholas DP, I mean, might just do the same thing now that we just did to Bears fan, where he can raise and just make it really hard for us to continue. Yeah, there's always the odd chance too. I mean, if he makes it like 23,000 there, we can probably call for 13,000 with his stack depth. So there's always that possibility. Bottom right with the top peg, the board's only going to get worse from here. I feel like we do actually have the best hand a decent percentage of the time because these guys are in pretty late position. He's probably always c-betting. This guy could be calling like fours or even sometimes floating. That's not good. That's not good. He's probably got queens or something. Jacks, snaps it in. Kings, yeah. But is there any tens? Is there any jacks? No, there doesn't appear to be. $160. Ace ball. Damn. It's not quite the way that was supposed to work out. Yeah, not too much to think about there with the jacks, obviously. Yeah, that would have been a good one. So 6 left. And then there was 6. And, yeah. If we lose this GX guy, I actually probably would deal with these guys. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're all good. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely deal with these guys. I mean, I think the edge that we have is like, in the state I'm in all honesty, this a bit tired. I wouldn't say that I'd have probably an edge. I'd say that it'd be pretty even. Yeah, I mean, if these guys are sitting there fresh zoned in, they probably have an edge. 3, 4, 5. So I think I will check the box. It's rarely you see me do it, but it's actually a pretty stacked final table. I mean, you don't normally see players quite this caliber, like all together like this. Even in the 100 rebuy, I mean, there's normally a couple more sort of, medium sort of strength guys. Look at this graph for Nicholas DP. This is just break even forever, and then like over a few thousand tournaments, just go on like a 700k upswing, which is bolstered by like a 356k score. Just insanity. Where am I going to get my 356k score? That's what you ask yourself, isn't it, when you see these things? Guy was breaking even for 95% of his career, and then last couple of thousand tournaments, he's just exploded. Imagine he was just running bad for the first 17,000 tournaments. And now it's balancing out. You never know. If that was the case, that must have been a very painful 17,000 tournaments. Pretty close here. I think between the amount we get 3-bet and JDP's, this guy is just being an animal. And it's quite sexy, but it's definitely could mean spewage soon. But I mean, he should be jamming wide there because of the ICM. So I love the way he's playing. He's playing good. It's just good to see. I don't know. You just don't see it all the time. Players playing good, that good, just doing everything they're supposed to be doing. Even a lot of top pros miss obvious ICM spots or defend way too wide. Invulnerable spots or call when they shouldn't be, or just do dumb shit. Pretty close. That's probably about as close as it gets. Suited king. These guys are all we get pretty good leverage against. I probably would prefer the blinds to go up a level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these guys are so loose that I'm just going to jam here, I think. We're only M5, we don't have a ton of fold equity. But this guy's just raising tons, and this guy's pretty loose too. So, I mean, they might even fold some of the time. Having said that, this is probably going to go jam. But, I mean, I think this guy can even have like A7 and stuff like that, you know. And I mean, this guy, you know, it's a bit dangerous. You can have like 4s or something, but, I mean, you can have like probably 10 jacks suited and ace 10 and we got king jack a lot. Maybe like a 9-10 suited. Some stuff like that. Wow, they did both fold, so. It's good. It's good when you got 2s. It's good when that happens when you got 2s, that's for sure. Get a little bit of respect there from Bears fan. Truth is, though, I will be attacking him a lot, so you know he needs to be careful and just fold there. I think he's just doing the right thing. You know, he needs to wait till a couple of these short stacks bust, and then he's actually got the worst seed of all. Yeah, he's probably got the worst seed of all. This is going to be a pretty interesting one here. Or not. And it's break time. Final table, 100 rebuy, 10.5k up top. Is it ours? We will find out after this break.